This is the book of Second Ezra, chapter 6, verse 22, and it reads, "And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty, and the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man heareth, they shall suddenly afraid. At that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The springs of the fountain shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run. Whosoever remaineth from all these that I have told thee shall escape, and see my salvation and the end of your world." First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory goes to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Raha Kwadash. Double honors to my elder apostles, elder bishops, elders at Great Millstone that rule well, that teach well, that taught me this truth. Peace, love, and salutation to the Ba'aftawada, which is the host of David, which is the elect. Shalom. A shalom to your sincere Akim and sincere Aqua, that follow the Lamb wherever you go. Shalom to your brother Yanaga here from the Providence, Rhode Island camp. Coming back to you again with another one. Okay, I got a video queued up with Snyder Report. Okay, we're going to just get straight into it, just straight to the point. All right, but before we get into it, okay, we're going to, copyright disclaimer, right? Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use, for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Fair use.
Did President Trump just approve of the EPA diluting gas here in the United States? Well, we're going to talk about that because there's a lot of people that are extremely upset that gas here in the United States is less efficient and it's costing us even more money. Let's get right down to it. Look at this.
The federal government just confirmed that they are about to start diluting your gasoline this May. So basically, the EPA just announced that starting on May the 1st, gas stations across the country can sell E15 fuel nationwide. If you're somebody that doesn't know what E15 fuel is, it's gasoline that's cut with 15% ethanol instead of just the usual 10.
I do want to point one thing out. E15 fuel. This is a fuel blend that normally during the summer, it actually gets discontinued. They stop producing it during the summer because, and this is in like 50% of the United States, simply because it burns off a little bit faster and it evaporates. And obviously that, affects the pollution and affects the air quality. So that's there. But with E15, normally, and just to give you the rough numbers, normally E15 it's cut with 10.5 to 15% ethanol. Okay? Now, other blends like E10, which is normally like the 87 fuel, at your local gas station, that is up to 10% of ethanol. But this is where people are now testing their fuel. They're going to stations with an ethanol testing kit, filling it up to figure out how much ethanol is in their fuel. It can have up to 10%. But
right, and you do have people that's going to these gas stations and doing this, man. Okay, the gas itself doesn't even smell like doesn't have that strong ethanol, that strong gas fume as it once. When it gets on your hands, it smells like gas. But it doesn't even smell like that, man. Okay, which goes to show you that they are diluting you're getting cheaper gas, man. Okay, you're getting cheaper gas. That's not gonna that's not gonna last the vehicle. Sometimes a full tank of gas will last you like, a week, right? Now it's less than a week, man. Okay, immediately when your gas gets on half, you got to refill it back again, man. Okay, it goes to show you, man, that with the wars that's going on over there with Iran. Okay, they're hitting, you so-called everyday, you so-called everyday, Babylonians, hitting y'all pockets, man. Okay, and this is just, it's just gonna get worse and worse, man. Okay, it's gonna get worse and a lot worse, man. Okay, we're living in these times, man. Okay, where we have to, as the scripture say, you have to let wisdom meet thee at every thought, man. Okay, because we who have the hopeful elect, and I say that humbly, right? The men of the Lord, right? In particularly the men of GMS. Okay, we have to understand that we have to know that the Lord has given us His knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. We have to use wisdom, man. We have to fall in love with wisdom and be mindful of the things that we're doing. To consider our ways. Okay, we're not to be wasting resources. We have to it's coming down to a time where we have to understand that the things that we do have, we have to be grateful for what we have. Okay, the little roof over our head. Okay, the vehicles that we have that the Lord has blessed us with, right? The jobs that the Lord has blessed us with, right? And even the other little things that the Lord has put in our life, right? That the things that we need and not what we want. All right. So let me continue real quick. Please.
What we used to see is somewhere between 8 to 9%. Now we are pretty much hitting 10%, the maximum. So yes, are we seeing diluted gas a little bit? But it's not that much. It's not as drastic as many people are making it out to be. Let's keep listening, because again, this is huge. And it's not just about diluting gas today. It's about what could happen very soon. Let's keep watching.
Never, and I mean never, say, sorry to bother you. Sorry to bother you.
You literally cannot make this up right now, because they are calling it fortifying the domestic fuel supply, which is a really weird way to say that you're just going to be adding more corn juice to people's gas.
The EPA has issued emergency waivers for gasoline blends like E15.
Now this is why it actually matters to you, because ethanol has less energy than regular gasoline, so your car gets worse fuel economy on E15. The entire point of this is that you might be saving about 25 cents per gallon at the pump, but you're burning through it faster, so obviously the savings just cancels itself out. But this is the part that genuinely nobody's talking about, because the EPA normally bans E15 during the summer because ethanol evaporates faster in heat and creates more smog. They explicitly know this, but they just decided to waive their own rule that they made anyways because gas prices are high right now and people are angry. And if you're somebody that owns an older car, a lawnmower...
Right, and it gets worse. It gets worse when you have to travel a very long distance, for you brothers and sisters that have to travel very long distance, okay, for work and whatnot. Okay, you're burning through twice as much as gas, right? Going and coming, man. All right, so it's going to hit the pockets of people, man. All right, this is the reason why I'm saying, you gotta let wisdom meet thee at every thought, okay? You gotta let wisdom meet thee at every thought. If you could get it, if you could, have a gig where it's more available, to your crib, right? Do so, man. Okay, because the time is coming where this man, okay, the elites, right? They're restricting, and restricting more of our movements. The way how we the way how we our spending, restricting our spending, restricting the resources that we have, the food that we eat, it's not real food, right? So this man is just taking everything, hoarding everything to himself, man. Okay, and not giving people, okay, the things them that they need for everyday life. Now, the scripture talks about that, right? Let's grab that real quick. Let's get that real quick. This is Sirach, also known as the book of Ecclesiasticus 39 and 24. It says, as his ways are plain unto the holy, so are they stumbling blocks unto the wicked. For the good are good things created from the beginning, so evil things for sinners. The principal thing for the whole use of man's life are water, fire, iron, and salt, flour of wheat, honey, milk, and the blood of grapes, and oil, and clothing. All these things are good to the godly, so to the sinners they are turned into evil, man. Okay, so this is what this man is doing, man. He's taking the things that the Most High Yahweh Bashim Shai has created, right, on the face of the planet Earth, and he's turning it into evil, man. Okay, he's turning these things, he's poisoning everything, right? He's you know, the food, the clothing, right? The clothing is not 100% cotton, right? Okay, the grapes, everything is GMO, the milk, okay? Everything is basically diluted, man. All right? Everything on the face of the planet Earth is being weakened under the rulership of the wicked, man. Okay, Esau, Edom, the self-proclaimed white man, right? Okay? The Lord has created these things on the earth to flourish, man. Remember, when you read the book of Genesis, you know, everything that the Lord has created, okay, afterwards he said that it is good, okay? It is good because the Lord knows, right, what he created, man, okay? He created things, you know, in unison to be compatible with mankind, man. Okay, so that he can get the full strength of what the Lord has created. All right? But this man, Esau Edom, man, is a damn devil, man. Okay, so let's go.
A boat or a chainsaw, they're saying to be careful because E15 can mess up those engines. So,
And that's true. E15 can. But this is what most people aren't talking about. Just to paint this picture for you. The gas stations that sell E15, okay, or the 85, whatever you want to call it, those gas stations, there's only about 3,000 here in the United States. There's over 145,000 gas stations here in the United States, meaning only 2 to 3% of stations even sell E15. So you're probably thinking, well, why does this matter? If barely anybody uses it, if it's not readily available to the masses, why would we care? Here's the reason why.
Why am I a Verbo host? I love helping bring people together.
The E15, this rule change, by allowing E15 to be sold, and this is actually from May 1st through May 20th. So even though everyone's saying, oh, it's going to be sold all throughout the summer, no, it's not yet. But they've opened the door to now they could extend it past May 20th. That's the key. Not only that, here's the other thing. We know there is not a fuel shortage here in the United States. There isn't. Okay, we have enough gas that we will be just fine. We can produce enough. But here's the reason why it matters. It's the cost, the affordability. And this is why I'm bringing this to your attention. If you are driving a vehicle that uses, let's say you put in the 87, right? It's up to the ethanol content is up to 10%. Well, if you had, let's say, it was 8% ethanol, so it means 92% was gasoline. If you did that and you put that into your vehicle would run pretty good, right? It would start and it would drive, and your gas mileage, let's say it's 20 miles to the gallon. Well, guess what? If then they increase the ethanol content and you had less gas, that means you get less miles per gallon. So instead of 20, maybe you're only getting 16 or 17 miles to the gallon. So a decrease of 3 to 4 miles per gallon. But again, you saved a little bit of money. But that's exactly what people are talking about is, well, we're being tricked thinking that, oh, the gasoline is the exact same. No, it's technically not. In many cases, the ethanol content is now at the max at 10%. You ever...
So you know, with that being said, you know, even when you go to these local gas stations, man, Okay, you have the fuel pumps, some of the pumps that's not even working, man. All right, so you're getting cheaper gas, right? And the restriction of gas itself, which goes into more of like a rationing, you know, or more of a rationing. Because when you go to these gas stations, man, these fuel pumps, you have like about four of them not working, five of them not working, right? And it's like, you have people there that's, putting in like, you know, damn near 50, damn near 60, right? So, yeah, man. I just seen this video here real quick. Okay, the U.S. gas is being diluted. EPA just changed our fuel, right? I wanted to do a lesson, just a quick lesson on it real quick. What's going on out there in the world, right? Okay, in Babylon the Great, right? So, again, man, matter of fact, let me get that scripture, man. End it off on that. This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 6, verse 16, and it reads, "For she goeth about seeking such as are worthy of her, showeth herself favorable unto them in the ways, and meeting them in every thought," man. We have to let wisdom meet us in every thought, man. Okay, be mindful and consider the things that we're doing, knowing that these things are being watered down, being restricted, okay, for us to just be considerate of the things we consume, the things we buy, right? Remember, the Lord give us what we need, not what we want. All these type of expenses and expensive stuff, right? They ain't gonna mean nothing in the day of the wrath of Yahweh Bashim Shai, man. Okay? So with that, again, seeing this here real quick, just sounding the alarm in the Lord's holy mountain. And with that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory. Go see Yahweh Bashim Shai, Bashim Kakodash. Shalom to the elect. Lord's will, I'll be back with another one. Shalom.